And we are live. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Welcome. And I can see
Hello.
already welcome Chris, welcome Kat, and welcome Alicia, and welcome to our show. And yeah, this is an awesome Crystal from Bioroty. Absolutely love her show. I love the way she talks books. She's just so calming when she talks, so knowledgeable. And even when she rambles, everything she says makes sense, if you know what I mean. It's like you could just sit there and listen for hours. It's just wonderful to listen to her talk books.
Well,
So, welcome, Crystal.
thanks for asking me. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself, background, booktube, everything.
Yeah, well, my name is Crystal. I've been doing booktube. What am
Hello,
I on my
William.
third
Yeah,
year?
third year.
I think
Okay.
third year. I don't even know. What is time? I don't even know anymore. But so yeah, been reading a long time though, a long kind of lifetime reader, but with taking some breaks. But um, I live here in the U.S. I'm in the southern part of the country and married and have a son. And
Yeah.
yeah, I started back reading again really in 2019, and I kind of took my 30s off. But so you know, you have a kid, your life gets flipped upside down. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I discovered BookTube in 2019, so that kind of changed everything for me. So, so I
Yeah.
got back into reading. I found BookTube, and then I made my own
Oh,
channel, and here we are. Yeah,
here we are.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's an awesome, awesome channel. Have you always read horror? Is horror always been your love, or a bit of everything?
A little bit of everything, but I definitely read a lot of horror in my sort of early kind of teens. Get into Stephen King probably way too young, like I think a lot of us do. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but even before then, I was always a reader. I loved like Judy Blume books and Beverly Cleary books, and I was always reading. I was always one of those kids with their nose in a book. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think I was the same. But I got into fantasy first. That was my
Mm-hmm.
first. That was my first true love,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only when I read it when I was 15 that I kind of graduated to horror as well. Kind of both. But yeah, that's my journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you say you've been on it for 3 years now.
I think it's three now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you had a few ups and downs, or?
I always I'm a go with the flow person, and I never really, had big expectations for. I just kind of wanted to make my own little channel and talk about books. I think a lot of us, like, we don't have people like in our kind of day-to-day life to talk about books with.
Very true.
I think that's
Very
why a
true.
lot of us start these channels,
Yeah.
to talk about books and connect with other book lovers. And so that's kind of was my thing too. So I just
Yeah.
hoped to connect with a few folks, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's grown, and my channel's grown, and that's really great. And
No,
I
your
just have fun
channel's,
with it. So
yeah. No, your
yeah.
channel's wonderful. And yeah, I agree with you. The only person I really talk books with is my wife, and occasionally with my dad. My dad also reads a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of kind of more thriller than horror,
Mm-hmm.
but he got me into my reading later on in my life. He would say, "Read this." Give me a book and say, "Read this."
Mm-hmm.
So he really kind of stoked the passion that was within me already.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's great.
That's
Should we
great.
say hi to a few folks?
Yeah.
Okay, we already said hi to some people. Kat, Chris, how you doing? Alicia, uh, yo, 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 yo. Can't stay, but hey, Chris, Kat. Thanks for popping in. I know you left me a message on my community tab that you might pop in. I'm very happy you did. Thanks, Alicia. And then Alicia, Leprechauns, hello. Hello. Let's check her channel out. She's actually lovely.
Yeah, great channel.
And let's
Hi,
read.
MJ.
And we've got MJ. Oh, yeah. How's it, MJ? Good to see
Thanks,
you.
MJ.
And then we got Secrets Read.
Hi, Christine.
Hello, the time change almost makes me miss us.
Look, it confused me, Christine.
daylight saving time, does that happen across America?
Uh-huh.
Or does that just happen? So for today, it happens across America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
We've all lost an hour of time.
Alicia is going to be bummed that she missed another yo. Next time you go, okay, that's what I did last time. I'll do it again. And then there's my wife saying, hello, everyone. And it's good to see all of you guys. Well, I've always had a kind of like a plan. So you say that you've always loved horror. What were the first books? What were the first things that got you into horror? Are you going to go back to Goosebumps, or are you going to go back to Fear Street, is it? I don't know those books at all. Never had them in my country.
So those were, I'm a little too old for those.
Oh, no, great.
I was
Great.
like a teenager when those came out.
Yeah.
So I remember reading Misery when I was 12. That was
Wow.
my very first like grown-up book.
Yeah.
And I'd never look back, basically. So I then just devoured Stephen King, and then I got into like Anne Rice, of course. This, of course, being the like early 1990s.
I don't think Anne Rice is a bit underrated, eh? People don't talk about Vampire Chronicles that much anymore. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
yes, I read them as a teenager. But a lot of people say you reread them as an adult and they're like, I don't think so. I think they're wonderful. They were influential.
I need to reread those actually myself. I've been rereading her witch books, and I still enjoy them. So
yeah,
her writing's not for everyone, but
I tried The Witching Hour. Maybe I need to retry it. Eh? Maybe I wasn't patient enough as a young man to really. It's very, very slow burn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very, very descriptive
and it's long and yeah.
Speaking of which, we're in a book club right now, and we're rereading. Well, I'm rereading The Damnation Game by Clive Barker. And I noticed your comments in the book club. You finished it, and you really enjoyed it. Slow burn. And I have to admit, on a reread, it is very slow. It is kind of difficult to get through, but I'm really enjoying it. I've got about 50 pages left. I'll finish tonight. But I actually thought it's quite good. Even though the characters take so much time developing characters, it takes so much time developing, the plot.
Yeah.
You're kind of waiting for things to happen. You agree?
Yeah. It was definitely a slow movie. I think I ended up kind of listening to the audiobook kind of halfway-ish through, and I think that kind of helped me because there was in the middle it's kind of let's get going, right? Like where's the stuff? When everything's going to happen?
You know who the European is? You know the European's coming for him, but nothing actually happened.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. But then the ending was really great, so it was worth the payoff. It was worth the wait.
Okay, I'm not really giving spoilers here, but the ending, that whole I hope I'm not giving a spoiler, but the depiction of hell, right? What we presume hell to be, and what Clive Barker presents as hell in his book. That's not spoiling it, eh? No. But I think it was a great ending.
Yeah. I like when he, kind of thinks about, a lot of his work not a lot, but some, a lot of his work deals with that view of like the other side, or like, what's on that other side, that dark side. That's why I like. Yeah.
And he gets so grotesque in that book, eh?
Yeah.
It's very flip and dark.
Yeah. Some good stuff in there.
The opening chapter is just where those soldiers are playing the game of tins, right? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He gets so dark. That is so dark.
I was like, ooh. This is gonna be good.
But at least they were dead already, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I've got a question for you. If you were on a desert island uh, and you only had 3 books with you, what would they be?
Well, let's see. When I think about what my favorite books are, and how often would I actually want to reread them or not, because some of my
Yeah.
favorite books are really dark. um, like, would I really want to like reread and reread and reread The Handmaid's Tale? I don't know, so I don't know if I would really bring The Handmaid's Tale with me on a desert
Yeah.
island.
Actually, that's a good point. Not necessarily your darkest tales. Because
Right.
sometimes like my favorite book is Swan Song. Do I really want to reread it and reread and read it, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what books would you choose
Well,
to
like
reread?
to reread, yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably have to pick Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. It is definitely one of my favorite books, and I love it because it's so zany and the
Yeah.
characters are so funny to me. And there's
Yeah.
these like it's a very twisty, turny story, and I just love this. I just love that book. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it was one of my top favorites, and I could
Yeah.
reread it even though I know the twists. I know what happens. I love it every time I read it, and
Yeah,
again,
better listen to more than water. Yeah.
it's the characters that I just love that book. So that's one I could definitely reread and reread and
Yeah.
reread on an island.
Yeah. And not to be pushy, but number 2.
um, I don't know. Maybe like a nice long book. So maybe something like The Stand. The Stand's
Yeah.
one of my favorite books. And that would give me some time. That would kill some time on a desert island. And again, it's just great characters. For me, The Stand's all about the characters. Like, how
Yeah.
much do we love those characters? And
Oh, I can
yeah,
Fran and Stu and Tom.
yeah, I love them all.
Lord,
Yeah.
Lord,
Mm-hmm.
no. Lord, yes. Tom,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love those characters. I
Nick,
fell in love with
Nick,
them.
Nick is my favorite.
Oh, Nick, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could spend a lot of time with that one on an island, I think.
Yeah. And it's a little bit different from Swan. You've read Swan Song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because it's a bit more, to be honest with you, it's the characters in Swan Song for me are awesome as well.
Mm-hmm.
But The Stand, it's a little bit gentler. I know that sounds strange, but it's
No,
almost like
yep.
the stand plays out more like a kind of a drama. It's dramatic
Yep,
with
totally
this
agree.
huge cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Swan Song is much darker, goes to sick places.
Yeah.
So,
A lot more sort of visual horror, with the
visceral. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And number 3?
Number 3, look at me looking at my bookshelves. I would probably pick something really light and fun also. So maybe like an old fave, like children's books, maybe like Judy Blume's, like
Yes.
Super Fudge or something like that. Something from my childhood that I loved, and I read and I read and I read and I read. That would help while away the time, I think.
Yeah.
So those 3. That's a good pick.
Those are good picks. Sorry, I forgot to mention William. Hi, William. How you
Hi,
doing?
William.
No, those are excellent picks. And I've actually thrown myself here because I was going to do the same. I'd have to consider fantasy and children's favorites and stuff as well, wouldn't I? Yeah, but I know Weave World would be my favorite. That's dark fantasy. I could read that over and over again. And surprisingly enough, the book that I'm going to read this month for the second time in 40 years, is Magician by Raymond E. Buss. Can't wait to read that book again. Probably the Chronicles of Narnia, just because they're so gentle and fun, Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
Really.
nice, story to just sort of fade away into, since you're stranded on a desert island.
Yeah, no. It's not like you really want to read Clive Barker's The Damnation Game or Clive Barker's
Right.
No, what's the other one, the short stories, Books of Blood, over and over again when you've got this ocean and the desert. Not really.
Not really.
You want something like beach music and gentle things.
Especially if you're not sure if you're going to make it off the island.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't need to be more depressed.
Hey, we
Hey,
got
Kat.
another one here. Yeah.
Hi, Alex.
Alex. That's awesome channel. Okay, that was our neighbor. That's their car alarm. Sounds like a hoot.
Yeah.
On again. Uh, yeah, Crystal is amazing, NJ. She's awesome. I'm just going to go through these quickly. Alicia is going to be bummed that she missed another yo. Yeah, I'll do it the next time. Okay. And Anita, Melissa. Hey everyone. Hello, Melissa. So I'm just making sure we don't miss anyone, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I DNF'd the witching hour. Yeah, I struggled through that as well. Need to give it another go, maybe. I think it's just the family history just takes so long.
It's
It's
not
so
an easy
strict.
one. It's
It's
not an
not
easy read.
not
Especially if you get
easy.
that whole middle section with like the whole thing about the Talamascus and the history of
Oh,
them and how they,
and
yeah. It,
the
it's
mothers
not
and
for everybody.
the family tree and the family dynasty and this
Mm-hmm.
and this.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes on and on.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are scaring me. I haven't started the damnation game yet. No, it's a great book.
No, it's
Worth
good.
reading. Yeah, it's just
No,
not.
the middle's maybe a little slow. So get through the middle and you'll get to the end. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And a good thing is it's actually and it's a good thing it's actually his debut novel. That's the very first novel he wrote. So to be
Oh,
fair to him, that's his first after the Books of Blood. He wrote the Damnation Game.
it's pretty
So he
great.
was still he was still not quite in his stride yet, to be honest, but in terms of novels.
Yeah.
There's better stuff out there, but it's still a good book.
Mm-hmm. Really great ideas going on in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what we got here? I love the Damnation Game. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kat. Really wish I could tune into your, what do you call them? Sprints. Problem is they're like 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Hello, Chris. She reads at midnight. Hello. 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 And then we got hello, Kat. Okay, so now we've got to wait for more comments. And so, okay, so let's move to authors. And I know you're very, very well read. I've been thinking about this because normally when I have people on the channel, I just chat about favorite authors, mine, theirs, whatever. Very, very well read. So you've obviously read a lot of more vintage. When I say vintage, I don't mean classic. I mean like vintage, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe. I don't know. Vintage horror, and then more kind of new horror. You know, all the stuff that's coming out lately. What are some of your favorite authors from both, and why? What makes them stand out?
Well, let's see. I am not as well versed in the vintage as I would like. I have a lot of books on my shelf that I haven't read. I think again, like a lot of us, we start with
Yeah,
King,
but you've
right?
read a lot of books. You've read a lot of books.
But yeah, so a lot of us should start with King. So I mean, I feel like that's like your entryway into like old school stuff. It was for me.
Yeah.
And so, and then you usually find your way to Dean Koontz, right? Though I've not read any Dean Koontz, so somehow I totally missed Dean Koontz when I was a teenager. And
Yeah,
then
he's not bad, but you haven't missed that much. In fact, there's only a
no,
handful
and
that
that's
I
kind of
enjoy.
what I figure. I'm kind of like, I'm okay. Oh. But then, but more recently, I've been kind of trying to go back and catch some of these older, kind of folks that I've been missing out on, kind of like Ronald Kelly and John Saul.
I didn't like Johnson.
Even Poppy Z. Bright, aka Billy Martin, who was, came out in the 90s, but again, I totally missed all that stuff when it came out. So I feel like I'm kind of catching up on the older stuff because I grew up in a really, really, really small town. So even, I just didn't know a lot of these things existed if you didn't know where to look for them, right? So even my library is not going to carry much stuff and all that, so like if it wasn't at the local, like, grocery store or the local bookstore, which was very, very, very small, then I didn't know it existed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'm, kind of catching up on a lot of the vintage stuff myself.
Yeah,
Even though I read a boatload of Stephen King and a boatload of Anne Rice.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I read back in the day. So yeah, so nowadays I'm reading more of that older stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned John Saul. I've read 2 of his books. I'm not impressed at all.
he's kind of up and down, I think.
You must give me some titles, because I think I read
I,
Stuff for the Children. I read Stuff for the Children. I did not enjoy it at all.
I have read, what was it? Black Creek Crossing was pretty good. Kind of a spooky haunted house type of book. The Right Hand of Evil. It's called The Right Hand of Evil or something, I think. That one was pretty good. And I have a boatload that I've not read of him either, that I find at thrift stores and things, like, oh, it's 50 cents. Let's buy it, He's got a lot of books, I think, and they can't all be winners. I think,
Yeah.
So
You can say that about anyone. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just finding the ones that are good.
Maybe I've just read the ones that are not so good.
Yeah, maybe you just read a stinker first.
Yeah, exactly.
But even so, Alex, the bookubus in the chat here,
Oh, her channel
we
so
buddy
beautiful.
read Son of the Endless Night last year by John Ferris. Loved it. It was one of my favorites of the year, and so I've got way more of his books that I want to read. So yeah, I always feel like I'm just catching up on these old books.
Yeah. I've got one John Ferris book, and that's The Head Turns When the Hunt Goes By. I think it's that.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
All the Heads Turn. I've still got to read that. So now you've made me want to read.
Too. I haven't read it
You
yet.
made me want to read that now, so I'll read that.
I haven't read it yet either, but I want to.
Alex is brilliant with the vintage.
Oh yeah,
vintage stuff. It's just brilliant.
She knows.
In this black basement.
She's read so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a quick peek at the comments, gang. Secrets Read says, Crystal reads a lot of genres. Yeah, you very broadly read, right? Yeah.
I just like to read, and I like to read from different perspectives. I like to read different age groups. I like different genres. I just love it all, really. Yeah.
No, generally speaking, I do as well. I suppose I put out a video the other day about my having a bit of an identity crisis with my channel, being called Cliff's Dark Gems, and, focusing on horror. But then I try to say, okay, now, even last year, every month I brought in other genres, and I read other genres. I read mystery, I read fantasy, I read science fiction. So it's kind of okay. I'm going to continue to do that, and maybe my channel down the road will evolve a little bit more. But it's kind of difficult also. Someone mentioned to me, I think in that video, it's difficult having the name Cliff's Dark Gems and then reading middle grade books and YA books, so it's that's a tricky situation to be in.
Yeah. But I would still think the majority of the things you read would be dark. So be they dark fantasy or, just straight up horror, or mysteries are dark too. So
and crime mystery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
I mean, even, it's your channel,
Absolutely, yeah. What does she say? Kat says, I haven't read any John Saul yet. I have 2 books on my shelf. The only Dean Koontz I've read is his 2 picture books, Santa's Twin and Robot Santa. Yeah, I've read quite a lot of Dean Koontz, but the only ones I really enjoyed was Intensity, which is very interesting, and Watches, which is my wife's favorite as well. And actually, there's a couple of good ones, Lightning and Phantoms. There's a couple of good books by him. Okay.
So the older stuff.
A bit of the older stuff, yeah. It all comes down also comparing his new stuff to his older stuff, and Stephen King as well, because he went through different phases of his writing. A lot of his older stuff is stuff that is revered, but then again, if you look at his newer stuff, he's got books that I loved, like Joyland and 11/22/63, which is magnificent. But it's just different kinds of writing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, he proves you don't always have to be dark,
Say that again?
he proves you don't always have to
Yeah,
stay in your lane, you know, of
no,
horror.
you don't. No, you don't.
Because King doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's King. King is becoming a great writer. Full stop. You know, I've just read the Bill Hodges trilogy. That was not horror. It was mystery. It was prime mystery, and it's very good, but not as good as his old horror. That's a Rose story. Sorry, I'm
It's
just
so
clicking my.
good. Rover's story is so good. I cried.
It's not Rose story.
It's a middle grade book that focuses on the Mars rover. You know, they were sent to the little not robot,
Oh,
you know,
that
little
little toy thing.
rovers. You know, the, yeah, to
Yeah,
explore Mars, and it's
yeah.
just so good. It's so good.
Ha ha ha. Kuhn says picture books. Yeah, they're cute. Santa's twin, Eagle,
Oh,
middle grade YA fantasy can all have dark elements. Yeah, I can. I'm getting there. It's only my first year, so well, just beginning of my second year.
there's
So
lots
there's
of
still
good
things
spooky
you
middle
do
grade
really
out there.
say it again.
There's a lot of good spooky middle grade books out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Even, you know, more recent stuff. It's out there if you want to find it. Hmm.
If I want to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll get to
Well, I
it.
mean,
I'll probably,
people like to think that, you know, middle grade is just for kids or whatever, but I find a lot of it is really super interesting, um, and again, it does really explore some dark things.
um,
Because there are kids that, you know, really like to kind of explore the dark side of things, I think, as we all did, you know, and so those kids are still out there, and there are books that are out there for them to read. So,
I spent 27 years of my life as a student and a teacher to middle grade students.
mm-hmm,
I know that there are some very spooky middle grade books,
mm-hmm,
darker themes.
mm-hmm.
No, there's a YA book that I read, a science fiction book. Have you? I wonder if you've read it. The Knife of Never Letting Go. And I know it was turned into a movie, but
Yeah, I
the
haven't
book,
read that one.
the book it's first part of the series, and
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely YA, but it is so dark, and it is absolutely brilliant.
It had been on
So
my
I recommend.
radar, but I
Yeah,
just, you know, so
I
many
recommend.
books.
Yeah, yeah. And so look, we got middle grade. Bookkeeper says Voice of the Night by Dean Koontz is very good. I haven't read that one yet. And then I'm reading The Alienist by Caleb Carr, and it's a dark historical mystery about a serial killer. You might like it, Cliff. Yeah, try that. Have you read that one?
I haven't. I watched the series when it came out. It was really good.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a series. Yeah. Spooky middle grade is better than YA. Excellent adventures. I'm a huge fan of children's literature. I have spooky picture books.
Picture books. Mm-hmm.
No, I know you. I know you're a huge fan, Kat. And what's awesome about your channel is that you explore all sorts of different things. You know, it's like it's awesome going on your channel. You will talk about everything. That's a lot of people. I suppose I just have a bit of maybe a first year existential crisis. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe in my second and my third and my fourth year I might start changing things. I don't know. But yeah, I made a whole video about it last time. She reads at midnight. Says Alienist is so good. Angel of Darkness by Carr is good too. I've never heard of Carr.
I haven't read anything by him. Mm-mm.
Not, yeah. So yeah, I'm taking these to note. I'm taking these to heart as well. Caleb Carr, The Alienist. Yeah. And yeah, when I watch your channel, I get so many good recommendations. Really, I sit there and listen. Yeah. I put them all on Goodreads, on my Goodreads thing.
I always like adding to people's reading list.
Yeah. I already add to mine, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I've got a couple more things here. What about movie adaptations? This is something that came up in the last video. So book to movie adaptations that you really enjoy. And let's stick to horror for this.
Mm-hmm.
So what book to movie adaptations are your favorites? If you had to pick, like, let's say 3.
So for horror, my favorite horror movie is Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a wonderful adaptation. And really, the changes that were made worked perfectly. And the movie works so well. It is still so good. And I love Hellraiser. And yeah, so that's probably my favorite. I think it's so well done. Never get tired of watching that one.
And also the interesting thing is you see so much more of the Cenobites in Hellraiser than you do in the book, right? So it's these little differences that actually works.
Yeah.
The Cenobites are the heart and soul of that story. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
Whereas in the book is also brilliant, but you only see glimpses of them. Whereas Hellraiser made Pinhead like kind of an horror icon.
Yeah. You get those visuals of them and how they look, and yeah, it's terrifying.
Such good looking guys, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Any other ones?
Let me think for horror.
I'm not putting you on the spot yet.
I'm not even put on the spot. Let me think. So I also really loved the miniseries, the very first miniseries for It. The one that came on the TV, I remember watching it when it came out. I had to be at the TV watching it when it came out, scared out of my mind. But I loved it. And
I'm applauding you because that's so underrated. So underrated.
Yeah, it captured the book. It captured all the characters. And Tim Curry as Pennywise. I mean, just like chef's kiss. He nailed it. And I thought the kid actors were great. The adult actors were great. To me, it was really well done. And it was made for TV, so like they did the best they could with the horror, but they still did a great job, I think. It was it's just a fave. I like that one too.
And I've got to respond to that because we absolutely love it. My wife and I love that show, and we still own it. We've got it, and we watch it from time to time. And the person who makes that whole thing is Tim Curry as Pennywise. And I'm sorry, I don't care about how brilliant this latest adaptation with that what's Force something, I don't know what his name is, but Tim Curry was Pennywise. Tim Curry is Pennywise for me. He's got the sense of humor. He's seriously evil, and just as you say, all the kids come across so well in that miniseries. And we love it. I don't know why people talk it down, just because it's maybe a bit dated. We think it's brilliant as well.
And I enjoyed the new remakes, for what they were.
I did too.
They had some scary scenes. I thought it was good, but it wasn't quite that uphill, Maybe that's just me being an old fart, but
I really enjoyed it. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap, to be honest, because everywhere I look online when they talk about that miniseries, it's like, it's dated, it's terrible acting. It's not terrible acting, it's brilliant acting. It's wonderful acting. We enjoyed it as well. And so one more.
Of course, I can't think of anything. Hold on. What are movies? I don't know. Maybe I hate to bring up another king, but maybe Misery. I thought was like perfection. I still think it's perfection. It's only those two actors, in this enclosed scene, and they nailed it. Annie Wilkes is like one of the best villains. Kathy Bates just played her so well. That's what pops to mind. So
I can't really think horror. I'm going to go with two just favorite Stephen King adaptations. That is Stand By Me. It's not horror. I know it's not horror, but From the Body in different seasons. Stand By Me. And then obvious one, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, no questions asked at all, and that's Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah,
I think I've seen it about 9-10 times.
Oh, I've seen it so many times. It's one of those movies that if you're just kind of flipping and it's on, you're gonna stop and watch it. Whatever point it's at, you just watch it.
And it's brutal, but what happens at the end is just so powerful.
Uh,
But, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Gets
Again,
me
and
every.
it's the characters.
Yeah.
One thing, as much as sometimes, King, he's hit or miss for me. I think we all know that if you watch my channel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
thing he nails is characters, I think, the bulk of the time. He writes really super interesting, engaging, realistic characters. So even if like the book stinks, there's probably a character in there that you like.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to go into the books that you hate because I know the book you hate the most, but we're not going to go into that. But I do want to give you. I'm not going to go into that one. But I do want to give you a recommendation. Have you read 11/23/63?
I have.
What did you think?
It's okay.
No.
I know.
Is it
I'm
the
in
politics with?
I'm in the minority on that. I know most people love it. It was fine. It
That's
was
fine. Okay.
too long.
I think it wasn't long enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't connect with that one like a lot of folks do. I don't know. Wasn't it's in the middle. It's in the middle for me as far as this book.
So look, Middle King is still good King, right? So there you go. All right.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. So
No,
I finished it. So
you finished it, yeah.
unlike Fairy Tale, which I DNF'd, and I hated that book. So
Which one?
Fairy Tale.
I haven't read that yet. I haven't read that yet.
And I'm in the minority again, I know, but I couldn't even make it through it. So
I think you have to be a fantasy reader probably to appreciate it.
I like fantasy, but I did not like that book.
Okay, let me see what we got here. Hellraiser, yes. Also for me, The Exorcist. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Exorcist, yeah. See, I couldn't think of any movies. I was like,
except for sorry. I'm sorry. I know Exorcist is a brilliant horror movie, but when she pukes all over the place, I did not like that. I find it disgusting. But I suppose it's projectile vomiting, yeah.
oh yeah,
and then
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby. Oh, sorry, I jumped the gun there.
That's good.
Rosemary's
Yes.
Baby.
Mm-hmm.
2, although Roman Polanski is a vile human being.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
agree.
You don't need to talk about that.
But Rosemary's Baby is good.
I'm excited to read The Hellbound Heart. You'll enjoy it, Chris.
It's good.
It's not too long. It's a good book.
Yeah,
Full
it's
of
short
very
one.
vile, full of very vile characters there.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say anything more than that.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Okay. Love the 90s. It too. Yeah, that's too. You see, we're a child over there now. They got swings and they got trampolines and stuff.
Oh yeah,
there.
having fun.
I don't get upset with them per se, but like we have to sometimes redo a shot because the little toddler starts screaming with joy, like daddy. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to make a film, yeah.
I'm trying to talk horror here.
Yeah,
no happiness.
Take your child inside.
Exactly.
The Hellbound Heart is afraid. Okay, let's see what this one is. There was an adaptation of Stephen King's short story. They have one up. Yeah. We both love that. You must watch that. You must look that up. Very easy to find. Have you read the short story?
Mm-mm.
It's from Nightmares and Dreamscapes.
Oh, okay.
And it's called They Got One Hell of a Band. It's our favorite because we like kind of rockers. We like our 70s, 70s rock. Yeah. That's an awesome story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've really not read a lot of his short stories. I need to dig into those.
He's very good at his short stuff.
Yeah.
Why you hate fairy tale? You can explain yourself. You can explain yourself.
Boring.
Explain yourself.
Oh, Christine, it was so boring.
Okay, that's all you have to say.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It put me in the worst slump.
Sorry, that's it?
It put me in the worst slump. I didn't read for weeks after DNFing that book. It was it was bad.
Oh no, shame.
And I know most people love it, so don't take what I say as anything. Most people love it. So
isn't that what happens? You read a bad book a long bad book, and it puts you in a freaking slump.
Yeah,
You just
it was
can't
bad.
read.
I have a grudge against that book.
Oh no, shame. Christine. I love the first half of Radar the Dog. Where are we getting to Radar the Dog? Don't get that. Is that from
He's in
earlier
fairy.
on?
He's in Fairy Tale.
Oh, he's in Feral. Oh, okay, Fairy Tale.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The dog didn't even save it for me.
It didn't. The dog didn't
The
save
dog
for
didn't
you.
even save for me.
Now let me ask you: are you a cat person or a dog person?
Cat person or a dog person? I'd say cat person.
Well, there you go. That's why the
Though I
dog
grew
didn't.
up with dogs. I mean, I love dogs too, but if I have to
Don't
pick, it's going to be a cat person.
Don't blame Fairy Tale on the dog.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
The dog was the best character, so.
Oh no, that's brilliant. So what are you reading right now? I know you finished. I know you finished the Damnation game already. I've still got a little way to go. I've still got a little way to go on my reread.
Mm-hmm.
What are you reading now?
Yeah, I finished the Damnation game this past week, and then I didn't read anything for a couple days, and then just yesterday, I didn't bring it up here, but I started. It's a nonfiction book called Ninth Street Women, and it's a book that focuses on 5 women artists of the abstract expressionist movement. It's some mammoths, so I'm reading it kind of for March of the Mammoths. So,
Okay.
So it talks about Helen Frankenthaler and Lee Krasner and Elaine de Kooning and Grace Hardigan and so another 5th one I can't remember now. But so I just started that. So
yeah, no, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read much nonfiction, as you know, on my channel. But
I don't read a lot, but
yeah,
I do enjoy it when I read it.
Yeah, I love my war fiction. Sorry, my war nonfiction. That kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever seen, not Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what did you
that's
think
good.
of that?
That's good.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite miniseries of all time.
Yeah,
I think my wife and I have probably seen it about 5 times.
Oh.
I've seen it with parents 5 times. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah,
I can see the likings getting a bit worse on my side, or is it okay?
That's good. You're still nice and bright.
Nice and bright, yeah. So the last video I did, I looked like a ghoul.
No, it's
white. White. Yeah. No, let's see what we got here. I love the first half. Tell us about the Leprechaun books you're reading. What the hell? What? I don't know about that.
I'm not reading them yet.
What are these Leprechaun books?
No, I found some leprechaun smutty stories to read for St. Patrick's Day.
I think I saw the video. Yeah.
For
Go
St.
on.
Patrick's Day. So I'll probably read a few of those for St. Patty's Day.
Okay. Let me get this right. Smutty leprechaun books.
Uh-huh.
Male and female leprechauns in the forest.
I don't know yet. Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to report back after I've read them.
You know about smutty leprechauns?
Finding the pot of gold. Yeah, I don't know.
The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about smutty leprechauns. But that was a very good question. Thank you, Chris. You need to give me more like that now because we're running out of material. So
I love reading silly, just wacky, holiday-themed, smutty short stories because they're so ridiculous. I read a bunch of Valentine's Day. I read a bunch of Christmas ones. So there's St. Patty's Day coming up. There's Easter Bunny stories.
What smutty Easter Bunny? Now don't spoil it for me now.
Yeah, smutty Easter Bunny. If it's a holiday, there's a smutty story for it. So it's just
I
fun.
need to look out for that. I need to look out for that. That'll be a good kind of cleanser between all the horror. All
Definitely.
that stuff. Yeah. No, the only smutty book, I've actually got it here. Hang on. Only smutty book, because I talked about it in my video last night. Only smutty book that I've ever read, probably in my life, was this one, Shadow of the Sheik.
Oh yeah.
And
That for Garb August, right?
it's like a shapeshifter romance.
Yeah.
So it's like one moment he's a man, the next moment he's a creature,
Yeah.
and she can't get her hand on him. That kind of thing.
Of course. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah,
those are fun. Yeah.
Maybe I need to read some more smutty stuff there. I see that.
I kid.
Are you doing weird reads for the week of weird? I'm still, I said in my last video, I'm still deciding. It's coming up quickly, but remember that I'm cheating on my Read What You Own challenge. I'm doing a big cheat on my Read What You Own challenge. So I'm going out and I'm going to buy weird books so that I can take part. How does that sound?
Works for me.
My wife just bought me another book that we'll never read, but we inherited from the previous owners.
Oh.
We haven't resold it at the secondhand shop or anything, but a bit of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. I've actually never read 50 Shades of Grey.
No, I don't plan to, but hey, maybe one day. It's fun.
I mean, a bunch of people were reading it. It's got to have something in there.
Yeah, no, but I heard it's terrible. I heard it's not very good.
Yeah. I'm sure I read worse.
I'm sure you have. Okay, baby, really good.
Well, I'm looking forward to diving back into my big weird book.
That is a beautiful book.
It's
I could
huge.
find it in my secondhand shop, then that'll be sorted.
It's huge. I love it because it just goes way back through like early days, weird fiction, and up through it's so much good stuff in here. So I really enjoyed everything I've read so far.
No,
it's worth it. It's worth it if you ever find it anywhere or whatever. Yeah.
Like I say, I've got 3 books left. I've got 2.5 books left, and then I'm going shopping.
There you go. Now, I hate showing this one because you can't find it anywhere. It's like out of print. But if you do find it secondhand anywhere, it's the new weird. This one's been good so far, too, the stories that I've read.
Who are some authors in the new weird?
John was put together by the Vandermeers, so Jeff and Ann Vandermeer. So they're weird in their own right. M. John Harrison. There's where's the table of contents? China Mieville's in here.
I like it.
Michael Moorcock. There's a Clive Barker story in here. Kathy Koja, of course. Thomas Ligotti, Brian Evenson, KJ Bishop. I mean, just Steph Swainstang. Just really good. Kind of newer weird.
Yeah. I know that I've got a couple of China Mieville still. Because last year I did Perdido Street Station, remember?
I know, I was still going to read that.
I've also got The City in the City, and I've got a couple of other books by him on my shelf. So if I can't find anything, I'll read a China Mieville. But I've got so many compilations of short stories. I just need to know who the weird authors are.
Oh yeah.
And then I could probably find, the stories in the compilations. I've got about 7 or 8, like kind of a collection of horror or whatever. So maybe I'll find something. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crystal.
Short stories are perfect for Week of Weird. So.
Question for you, Crystal. Do you have any specific reading or channel plans for the year? Anything coming up that you're looking forward to? Good question, Alex.
Well, other than the Week of Weird, which starts next week, when I set out this year, my plan was to kind of actually read less. And I've been doing that, and it's been great. because I found that I was spending a lot of time reading and ignoring other things that I enjoyed doing, like catching up on movies and TV shows, just that kind of stuff, right? Hanging out with my kid, that kind of thing. And so I've done that. I've slowed down, and I've been enjoying that actually very much. And I'm enjoying the books that I've been reading. I've had a really great reading year so far, just slowing down and being a bit more conscious, I guess, about the books I've been picking to read, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I'm looking forward to just continuing that for the year, just, taking my time with good books, I'm doing everything just really slow this year. The Read What I Own challenge, I finally just hit over the 20 book mark, of 100 books. So that's going to take me probably all year. And it's fine. I've not been even wanting to buy anything. I'm looking forward to events through the year. Old School April's coming up. That's going to be fun. But other than that, I'm just slowing down, being purposeful about what I'm reading, what I'm watching, purposeful what I do with my time. That's kind of what my year has been so far. And it's been really good for me. I've been in a good place because my outside life has been really stressful. So my entertainment life, I just wanted to take some of that stress away, so that's been good. It's been good for me and my mental health and everything, you know. So yeah, that's good. That's it.
Very, very good answer. Yeah, it's like I say, I'm kind of betwixt and between, trying to make things stress-free, but at the same time trying to take part, trying to read more, but trying not to put pressure on myself.
Yeah,
There's that constant balance for me.
it
with
is.
balance,
It's kind of a hard line to walk sometimes. Yeah.
It is a hard line.
Yeah, because you want to do the fun thing. I love the events. Don't get me wrong. But I've just decided, well, I'm just gonna do maybe one book or something. You know what I mean? I don't have to fulfill every single prompt or whatever.
No, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, like I love the friends I've made here, and I want to support. When they come out with a fun event, I want to participate, of course. So even if it's just with the one book, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I just want to I got to get through these books that are on my shelf. I have so many unread books, so I need to calm down, basically.
No, I'm trying to decide on the rules that I'm going to use for when I do my little cheat. I've already mentioned it on my channel. 50 books. I'm very proud of myself. In fact, the first time I said 50 books is good. It's a good number to go for. And then I said, nah, I'll do 100 books.
100, yeah.
But I decided at 50 books, no. It's one of my joys in my life.
Yeah.
Just go book shopping. It really is. It really is. We're in a small village. So the only time we really get out is go to my little local bookshop.
Yeah.
Go to the beach. We don't really go out to restaurants, stuff like that. So so I'm going to go to my bookshop.
Yeah, don't erase all of your joy, right?
Exactly.
Don't make yourself miserable. Yeah.
No, exactly.
And 50 is great. Yeah.
Sorry? 50 is
and
good.
50 is good, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to look at a couple more comments because we've got some good ones here. Okay, now I think people are talking to each other here. My wife talking to you. Hang on. Just quickly go through these. Like Read What You Own, and everyone supported me. I broke my Read What You Own. Yeah, I saw that video. Everyone supported me. Good for you for breaking it. I went back to the store and bought more. That's the way to do it. That's it. That's the way to do it. If you've lost anyway, right? If you've broken the rules, you might as well just go back to normal.
So here's the thing about Read What You Own.
Yeah.
Is if you try it and it just doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. If buying books really is like part of your joy, then you have learned that through the challenge, and I think that's valuable as well. You know what I mean? You don't have to be so hard on yourself all the time with the rules. I mean, I'm a co-host of Read What You Own, so I should be more like, But no,
Yeah, you should be.
you've got to, you got to make it work
But
for
also,
you. Is I think, is the
funny
point
is,
of it.
yeah. Funny thing is, I also heard a comment that was quite interesting. That what about the authors of these small indie books or small self-published authors?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's doing read what you own, and then everyone's ignoring their books on the Kindle. So I don't know. That's just food for thought as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that's maybe we overlook.
Mm-hmm.
And you are absolutely right. I've learned about myself, and I'm not bitter and twisted. I'm not bitter and twisted. But I've learned
Sure.
about myself. Yeah, sure. I've learned about myself that is a big joy in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't have many other joys in my life.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, my dog, that.
Yeah.
Maybe occasionally going out to breakfast, Wimpy's or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
don't really. That's a big joy in my life. So I missed it big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and if
No
anything,
need
when I
to
go
deprive yourself.
no, but when I go back and have this shop now, I'm going to be on seventh heaven. So I can only thank the Read What You Own challenge for that.
Yeah, there you go.
And I will still try and read what I own till the end of the year, till I get to 100.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just important that you give yourself, I don't know, a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make it work for you. I think that's the best thing to come out of it all. Yeah.
Okay, next one is, I really enjoy the week of weird. It gives me a chance to dive into weird short stories. Yeah. I need to find some.
Lots of good short stories out there.
I should actually say to Kat, if you find any really cool, weird short stories that I might have as well, then we should do a buddy read of some short stories. Leslie. Hello, Leslie. How's it, Leslie?
Hi, Leslie.
Okay. Kat says, I've been doing the same thing, Crystal.
Slowing down.
Yeah. Cliff, you don't use rules when you cheat. No, but this is just a small cheat. This is not a big cheat. This is just to go and buy books because I haven't read 4. I've read 50 books. Not buying any.
I think reaching 50 is good. Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Yeah. that was actually my initial number. You know that. Like I said, that's the first number that I made.
Mm-hmm. And
then I decided to be all. There's a South African term called, you're going to love this, vingat. Vingat. And it's like you're full of yourself, and you know that I've done 50, now I could do 100.
Yeah.
Not so easy.
Maybe not. Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
I'm still going to work on getting to 100 previously owned books through the year. And usually, not even attempting read what you own. Life is too short.
Well, the thing for me is that I know I have some really amazing books on my shelf sitting there waiting for me. Like, I know I do. I know they're there waiting for me. So I'm someone who I get really distracted, So for me, I'm being purposeful about really reading these books off this shelf. So I'm making it work this time.
Because otherwise they just pile up and you end up never reading them. That's the problem, right?
And I just have piles of books. I have literal piles of books on my floor. Like, it's too much.
Now, I think the difference with me being blatantly honest here is that a lot of the books on my shelves are vintage sort of trash, or books that I've read already, or books that I've had for a long time, but through transit. And I mean, if I just take anything from here, okay. Oh, we got The Wind in the Willows. Maybe I can reread that. Nice childhood thing. But a lot of the stuff is not really up to date. And that's another thing. Like what if I want to do a group read, or I want to do a buddy read from a new title that I can't find here, and I need to find on my Kindle, right? So that's a problem. Like, you have to buy titles on your Kindle. You have to find the books you need on your Kindle, and there's so many titles out there like Fairy Tale. that I want to read.
Yeah.
And so the only way I'm going to actually read them is if I buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's probably on my shelf at the back here, and including everything, there's probably another 50 books I'd love to read before I die on my shelves. But in the meantime, you've got these other ones that come out. You can't touch them because you've got to read the books there.
Yeah.
That's a very poor excuse. I'm sorry.
You know, make it work.
Yeah. But
And there's
you know
always
what?
so much good new stuff coming out too. That I'm just like, There's just never enough time to read everything you want.
And the thing is, we don't have a library here, and I don't get gift boxes like a lot of people do in America. I know Chris has got awesome unboxings. I love seeing those books. And no, I'm just saying, you know, like we don't. So
Yeah.
my wife gave me a gift at Christmas, but I haven't cheated. I haven't touched that. But you know, I've got a whole lot of books from my wife and from my family. So it's difficult. You just got to change the rules to suit you as a person. That's it. Bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
Oh, yeah, Layla there. Layla's at the gate barking. Oh, there's, I think, one other thing I wanted to ask you. I'm just having a little coffee break here. No, Layla was barking at the gate there. I wasn't sure what that was about. Books falling on the floor.
Story of my life.
Someone said gifts don't count. Oh, okay. Leslie says, I did unhaul about 120 books recently. I had read most of them, but there was no reason to keep them.
Yeah, I have a big pile to unhaul. Yeah, as I'm going through my shelf.
Yeah. The only books that I want to unhaul are the books that when we moved here as a couple over a year ago, that we got a whole lot of their books. So we got a lot of Sidney Sheldon. We got 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
But, you know, we got a lot of books that I'm not really interested in reading.
Yeah.
So I've taken them to the bookshop. Then normally what happens is they choose the books that they like, and you can get half price for any book that you buy from a book they like. So you can take a box of 20 books there, and they might choose 5 or 10 that they like. So then you go, I want for like 50 American pence or 25 pence, whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the rest then we give to SPCA, you know, some kind of free donation thing. But it's still got so many to do there.
Yeah.
But my own books, I'm not going to unhaul. If I read them and I enjoy them, they stay here. Yeah.
I'm kind of like Leslie, though. If I don't think I'm going to reread it, I've been kind of just, I don't need to keep it on my shelf.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'll pick up, I love thrifting. So, like, I'll pick up a book because it's 50 cents, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll read it. And I don't really need to keep it. I don't have like this like sentimental connection or whatever, especially if it was just an okay book. Like, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right. But when we run out of space, we're going to have to do that anyway. So.
Yeah, and I have to because I'm out of space.
Yeah. Okay. So Leslie, that's impressive. It's hurt, but I needed to do it. Yes, you did. Okay.
I know, because we love our books. Don't we?
We love our books.
We love our books. Even if we hated them, we still love it because it's a book and we love it.
See, there's just room for more books. And that's true. Then you get better books and then you just fill up that space again.
Yep.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Uh-oh. Okay, there you go.
Have I lost you?
You froze a
Oh,
bit.
no,
You froze a second. Okay, there you go.
yeah, just checking to see if we had any final questions or final word.
Well,
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was just a fun chat. Yeah, it was fun to chat with you. Get to know you a
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah.
What? Sorry, my wife was there. She's thinking, "Oh, you're frozen. You're not going to be unfrozen." Yeah. No, it was lovely to chat. I really enjoyed that. And thanks to everyone that took part and came here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you. And hope you have a lovely Sunday. Hey? Yeah, Sunday. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And to all of you out there as well, have a wonderful Sunday. And yeah, we're going to hang out for 2 minutes and say goodbye when we've left. Eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Yep.
To everyone, we are going to be. It's great fun seeing you two together.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go in 3, 2.